Welcome back to the channel. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a rinseless wash on my dad's car. I started to just use the foam and wash by itself. You know, this stuff works good, but again, if your car is pretty dirty, like after like a week or two, it's not going to really do much for you in terms of getting it clean, because there's some stuck on things on here that just won't come off with this. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a hybrid version of a rinseless wash, which I'm going to soak my towels in N914, and I have some foam and wash still left over in the pump sprayer. I'm probably going to mix some more on there, but again, I'm just going to throw in I have 2 gallons in here. And so that's 30 milliliters, which is 1 ounce. I'm going to soak a couple towels in here. And so let me put this back over here so I don't have to drag this with me. But this is probably the way I would use it, the foam and wash. The only time I would use the foam and wash. So I already tried to use this towel and I was like, it's too messy. We'll throw that around there. I did the roof and the side here, and I started using my towel and I was like, you know what? Look, I'm getting dirt on this, just drying it up, doing it this way. And so what I'm gonna do is let me grab this, and I'm not gonna be doing the wheels today. You can see how dirty the car is. So it's been through some rain. Let me put this back down. And so this thing gets pretty messy to do it this way. So we're going to take this and we're going to let this kind of just do like our pre-soak snow foam, just to start loosening up some grit. And so the thing with this pump sprayer, in order for you to get even coverage like this, you want to move slow and get relatively close to the paint. So once you start moving fast, you're not going to get even coverage. So you're going to be blowing through product pretty fast. So if you hold it pretty close, you get a better dispersion, better foam than being pretty, far away from the paint. So if I have from this far, yes, you get wider fan. See, I'm already running out of product in there, so I'm already down at by the 10-ounce mark, so I'm gonna have to fill that back up. So we're gonna kind of just let this kind of set up here, start breaking some dirt, some grit, and it's hard to see, but in here I can actually see the dirt in the foam. So just take your towel that has the N914 on it, and just go ahead and start removing the surface dirt. For me, this seems like a better way to do it, and I'll show you something real quick. But your towel's going to load up this way. You can still see that it didn't take off this caked on business. It loosened it up, but it didn't remove it. So it's not the most clean method, but again, the atoms that's on there is just adding lubrication. and helping you encapsulate some of that dirt. I'll flip this towel over. So again, this is probably the way I would do it for a car that's really dirty. But I'll tell you what, the towel just kind of glides on the surface this way. So again, pretty messy. I got foam on my shoe, foam on the floor. Throw that in there. So at this point you have a couple options. You can either do a drying aid at this point, which it's completely up to you, or you can just dry it like this first. And so one thing about rinseless washing is you're not going to get all this caked on stuff, you know, to come off right away. So I may have to just loosen it. But you can see that when I do it this way, I have less, I still have dirt in here, but it's less of it than when I was just doing it with just the towels. And actually this is cleaning better than just doing the waterless wash method with that foam and wash. Let me just go ahead and continue drying this. Yeah, that's the only thing I really don't like, is the foam kind of makes a mess. And you can see rinseless washing doesn't really take that stuff off. It loosens it, but and so with this foam, it's kind of a bit of a hassle to wipe off. That's why with these foam waterless washes, they have you follow up with a spray detailer of some sort, and you can use you know, it's up to you. You can use O&R if you wanted to. Or you could use you know, drying it during your wash process. I'm gonna have to get in here and pop open the hood, because you can see that there's foam in here. So this towel is pretty much drenched. I'll come back. I'm gonna clean up my overspray from the pump sprayer. That's another kind of a downside to that. Flip this over here. So I'm using the the ceramic detailer from Geon, just to come back and touch things up. Remove any of the residue from the foam and wash. That's primarily what I'm using it for. And this big fluffy towel is not the towel I would use for this, but I just grabbed it because I wanted something quick. But yeah, once you get this cleaned up, then it works. Then it looks good and it works good. But just know that your towel, even if you have, you know, some of the foam and wash trapped in a corner, that it's not gonna you're gonna have to require a bit more wiping. Like in this section here, I have some excess moisture, and it's a bit of a pain to wipe off. So just kind of know that going in with this foaming stuff, that you're going to be working for it a little more than just your traditional rinseless wash. And this stuff is just not coming off. Should I get... And so you think this process is actually quicker? Actually it's not. I think you're better off washing your car if it's that dirty with a bucket wash. But if you only have a rinseless wash with you and you're going to do a hybrid with this, yeah, it's going to take a bit longer to do it this way. Okay, we'll come back and wipe this off. And see, there's a caked on something there. So again, that's the way I would do that's how I would incorporate a foaming waterless wash into your rinseless wash process, using it as a pre-soak. I should have grabbed a better towel to wipe this ceramic detailer in here. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this and go around the rest of the car. Like I said, for now I'm not going to do the wheels because I just want to do the paint, and I'll wait for the weekend to clean up the rest of the car. But I mean, that's the process I would use for the foam and wash if my car hasn't been washed in like a week or two. If it was just in the garage like with dust like I did with the Camaro, I would just go ahead and just use this as a waterless wash. But just know that going in, you're probably gonna have to come in and clean up all the residue. But man, that ceramic detailer works really nice from Gion. And I'm gonna go get a new towel because I hit some dirty stuff here and now it's dirty. So that's pretty much it. Just want to do a quick video on the hybrid wash process using the foam and wash from Adams and McKee's N914. You can do the same thing with like the 3D waterless wash, the foaming version, or Ammo Frothy. You can do the same thing. If you want to just stick with the foam and wash, just fill up your container pretty full and then just go heavy on the surface, and then I think you're going to be just fine doing it that way. So again, thanks for watching, and again, this is just a quick update on the hybrid rinseless wash process in introducing a foaming waterless wash as your pre-soak. So again, thanks for watching. I want to give you some final thoughts on the hybrid rinseless wash that I just did, and I think it's a very good alternative if your car is very dirty. I started doing just the foam and wash. I wasn't comfortable in the Impala just to do that by itself, so I ended up mixing up some N914 in a bucket. I just made 2 gallons, enough to put some towels in there. And then I came back and used the foam and wash as my pre-soak, and 914 is my main rinseless wash with the towel soaked in there, and just clean up the surface. And then what I ended up doing, what ended up working better for me, was once I did a section, like for example that front end, I ended up moving on to another section after I came back with the drying towel to pick up all that foam and 914 mixture. I came back with a drying towel just to clean that up, and then I let the leftover product kind of just dry on the surface. It's not going to cause problems if you do that. And then I came back with the Geon ceramic detailer and touched up those areas, and it just worked out so much better. You don't have to worry about continually spread the wet mixture on the paint. It just worked out much better. And as far as the amount of towels I used, I ended up using 4 towels. These I had 3 soaked in N914, and I started doing this one with the waterless wash. I ended up using 4. I started using this green towel for drying, which was okay. It wasn't that good. I ended up picking up this towel. This was a McKee's towel from, I got it for free. It's like the Geon soak dryer. The Geon one is much better. So I ended up just grabbing this to try it out, and this actually did a better job drying the surface and cleaning up the foam mixture. Then I started using just this towel with the Geon ceramic detailer, but then I just started using this as my main cleanup towel, and I came back with an FTW towel here to mop up anything left over by the Geon detailer. So that worked out better for me to do it that way. And in terms of amount of water, I ended up using 2 gallons of N914 and roughly half a gallon in the pump sprayer. So you do the math, 256 ounces with, half gallon of, 60 ounces, give or take, of pump solution in this pump sprayer here. So 256 ounces, 60 ounces, you guys do the math. That's how much I ended up using for this wash, which is very economical, and again very friendly for the environment. And if you're in a drought condition and don't have access to water, or maybe you just have to wash your car inside because the weather's too cold, you're not going to be wasting much water doing it this way. So that's how much I used. And then I think that's it. So if you guys have any comments or questions on this hybrid rinseless wash, by all means post up comments on it if this is something you would be willing to try out and see if it would work out for you. Is this something you consider doing? Just kind of post that below. So again, thanks for watching. This is a good method I mentioned is if your car is very dirty. If your car is not too dirty, you can just get by with the Adams foam and wash. It has plenty of lubrication, encapsulation. You'll see it in the suds from it. Think of scrubbing bubbles when you're from cleaning your bathroom, and that type of effect on there. If your car is garaged and just gets dust, Adams foam and wash has plenty of lubrication where you're not going to scratch the surface, and it's actually relatively safe. So I did this on this car. Come back and just clean it up like you saw me in the video with your favorite spray detailer of choice. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.